Hey friends, Benji here. So today we're going to be going over calf rolling, okay? So there's actually a lot to do here in terms of different types of ways to get into the calf. But today I'm just going to show you one of the easiest and best releases that I know of to release tension through the calves. It's the back side of your shin bone. So these can get particularly tight for a lot of people, particularly runners. So if you're one of those, this is going to be a really great way for you to start to relieve some of that tension and problematic muscle knots. So as I've said before, you always want to try and soften things up first. You never want to go in right for something that's going to be invasive to the muscle, like a hard surface. So, start out with the softer ball first, but I'm going to show you using the harder ball because there's a way to do it that's going to require a little bit more than a large 5-inch ball. All right, so I like to do this on a raised surface, and I'm using the complete works of William Shakespeare. You can use a yoga block, that's probably the better option, but as I don't know where my yoga blocks are right now, I'm using a book. So the way to get at this is on the back side of your shin, or your calf there's like a little bit of a delta where these two muscles sort of come together, right sort of in the center of the calf itself, right? So you want to basically, it's sort of a search and destroy, but it's also just sort of like knowing where to go. So you want to find the widest, meatiest part of your calf, and then from that center point you want to go down maybe 1 or 2 inches, and you'll feel right where the soleus and the gastrocnemius come together in the middle. The soleus is the bottom part, the gastrocnemius is the fat part of the calf, which most people identify as being the calf muscle, but there's multiple muscles in there. So you're going to take the ball, you're going to put it on a raised surface so that it's able to get in there a little deeper. If it's on the ground, it's not going to be quite as effective. So put it up on a raised surface. Find that spot about 1 or 2 inches below the fattest part of your calf. So about right there for me. And this may be enough pressure for you. You may not have to add more, but if you do need to add more to really get it to dig in there, usually what I'll do is I'll just cross the other ankle over top right where the ball is, yeah? So you're crossing over at the top here, and we're talking about circles and slaps, okay? So what I mean by circles and slaps is that you're gonna use your foot to do some movements here to release the muscle even more so it really digs in there, right? So the first thing to do is make sure that you're keeping the leg straight. You're not bending the knee, you're keeping the knee straight. You pull the foot back toward you, and then you slap it forward. And you pull it back toward you again, and slap it forward again, okay? So you're sort of relaxing the muscle by slapping forward, and then you want to do circles in both directions with your foot and rotating through the ankle. Okay, so you can stabilize the leg a little bit this way if you need to. Again, do 4 slaps, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and I usually do 2 circles to the right, 2 circles to the left. And try to make the circles as big as you can, and try as best you can to stay right on that point of pressure on your calf. And I would go through that protocol 3 or 4 times, and that should be a pretty good start. After you've gotten done doing that release, usually what I'll do is I'll follow that up with some kind of a calf stretch, usually putting myself up against a wall or grabbing a surface up here, and then just pushing the heel down toward the ground, keeping the leg relatively straight. There are 2 different types of stretches to do here. Straight leg, which is the gastroc, it's the big part of your calf, and then bending the knee a little bit, pushing the knee forward, takes the stretch from the fat part and puts it down into the soleus. So there are a couple of different stretches that you can do after that release.